survive?
Only just. He had a fever for many days. He didn't know where he was.
Who looked after him?
The housekeeper, an old woman called Mrs. Bedwin. She sat by his bed for a week.
What happened when he woke up?
He asked where he was. Mrs. Bedwin started crying and told him to be quiet or the fever would come back.
Why was she crying?
Because he was alive. Nobody had ever cried for Oliver before.
That's the first time in the whole book.
It is. She gave him soup, clean clothes, and a soft bed. He thought he had died.
A boy who thinks kindness means death.
Dickens says exactly that, and it's terrible.
So he was safe at last.
For a few weeks, yes. And then he noticed the picture.
What picture?
A portrait of a young woman, hanging on the wall opposite his bed.
Who was she?
Nobody knew. Mr. Brownlow had bought it years before.
And why does it matter?
Because Oliver couldn't stop looking at it. He said her eyes made him feel strange, as if she were sad about him.
A ghost story now?
Better. A few days later, Mr. Brownlow came into the room to talk to him.
And?
He looked at Oliver, then at the portrait, then at Oliver again. And he went completely white.
They had the same face.
The same eyes, the same mouth, the same shape of the head. Exactly.
So Brownlow knew who Oliver was.
No. He knew Oliver was somebody. That's different, and it's the engine of the whole book.
What did he do?
He said nothing. He had the picture taken down and never mentioned it again.
Why?
Because he was afraid of hoping. Remember that, it becomes important.
All right. Was Oliver happy there?
Completely. And that's exactly when Dickens takes it away.
How?
A friend of Brownlow's arrived. An old man called Mr. Grimwig.
Let me guess. He didn't like Oliver.
He didn't believe in Oliver. He said the boy was a thief and would rob the house and run away.
On what evidence?
None. He said poor boys are all the same. And he offered to eat his own head if he was wrong.
Charming man.
So Brownlow decided to prove him wrong.
Oh no. He tested the boy.
He sent Oliver out alone to return some books to the bookseller and gave him £5 to pay a bill.
£5 in 1838 was a lot of money.
Months of wages. Grimwig didn't see the boy or the money again.
And Oliver went, proudly.
He ran. He wanted to be back in 10 minutes to show them.
Something happened in the street.
A young woman grabbed his arm and screamed, "Oh, my dear little brother. I found you at last."
Who was she?
Her name was Nancy. She worked for Fagin.
And people believed her.
She was crying, calling him her lost brother, saying he had run away from home and broken their mother's heart.
And a crowd formed.
The same crowd as before. Only this time they helped the criminals.
Did Oliver shout for help?
He screamed the truth. Nobody listened. Then a big man arrived with a white dog.
Who?
Bill Sikes. The most dangerous man in the book. He took Oliver by the collar and told him to be quiet.
And the people in the street just watched.
They watched a family scene and went home pleased with themselves.
They dragged him back to Fagin.
With the books and the £5.
And Mr. Brownlow, at home, waiting.
This is the part that hurts. The two old men sat in the room, watching the clock.
For how long?
The afternoon passed. It got dark. They lit the candles. Grimwig said nothing.
He didn't even say I told you so.
He didn't need to. Then it started to rain, and they sat there in silence, and the boy never came back.
Brownlow thinks Oliver robbed him.
Yes. The one good man in London now believes Oliver is a thief.
And Oliver can't explain, because he's locked in a room with Fagin.
That's the trap. And next time we find out what Fagin does to a boy who has seen a kind house.
Tom, you left Oliver playing the pocket game with Fagin. What happened next?
For several days, nothing. He stayed in the house, cleaning handkerchiefs,
Cleaning them?
removing the letters sewn into the corner. The owner's initials.
So they couldn't be traced.
Exactly. Oliver did it without asking a single question.
He really didn't understand.
Then one morning Fagin said he could go out with the Dodger and Charlie Bates.
Who's Charlie Bates?
The other boy. He laughed at everything, all the time, even at terrible things.
And Oliver was happy to go.
Very. He thought they were going to work.
In a way, they were.
They walked slowly through the streets. Oliver noticed that the two boys were looking into every shop.
Choosing.
Then, near a bookstall, the Dodger suddenly stopped.
What had he seen?
An old gentleman, well-dressed, reading a book. Completely lost in it.
He wasn't paying attention to anything.
Nothing at all. He had a silk handkerchief hanging from his back pocket.
Oh no.
The Dodger walked up behind him, took the handkerchief, and walked away. It took 2 seconds.
And Oliver saw it.
He saw everything. And in that moment he understood the whole thing.
The watches. The game. The handkerchiefs.
All of it, at once. And he was so frightened that he did the worst possible thing.
He ran.
He ran. And the old gentleman turned round, saw his pocket empty, saw a boy running, and shouted, "Stop thief!"
But he was the only innocent one.
The only one. The Dodger and Charlie started shouting "Stop thief" too, and pointed at Oliver.
That's disgusting.
That's survival, for them. Half the street ran after him. Butchers, shopkeepers, strangers.
Why does everybody always join a chase?
Dickens asks the same question. He says people love the noise, the running, the shouting.
Nobody stops to ask if it's true.
Nobody. A man hit Oliver and knocked him to the ground. He was bleeding, in the mud, surrounded by a crowd.
Where was the old gentleman?
He arrived last, out of breath. And when he looked down at the boy, something strange happened.
What?
His face changed.
Siamo in live,
He said, "That poor boy.
Lo sta Rosa, non
He looks hurt."
Rosa, siamo in
He
live.
felt sorry for the thief who robbed him.
He wasn't sure anymore that it was the thief. But a policeman took Oliver away anyway. To a magistrate called Mr. Fang.
Rosa.
Fang. Like the tooth of a dog.
Dickens chose that name carefully. Fang was a cruel, angry man who never listened to anybody.
What did he ask Oliver?
His name. But Oliver was too ill to answer. He was half unconscious.
And
Fang said he was pretending and sentenced him to 3 months of hard labor.
L'esame a me.
without any proof, without a witness.
That was the point Dickens wanted to make. The law was faster with poor children than with anyone else.
So Oliver went to prison.
No. At that exact moment, a man ran into the room shouting, "Wait."
Who was he?
The owner of the bookstall. He had seen the whole thing with his own eyes.
He knew it was another boy.
He had watched two boys take the handkerchief while Oliver stood there doing nothing.
Finally, one honest person.
Fang was furious, but he had to let Oliver go.
And then Oliver was free, in the street, with nothing.
He collapsed on the pavement, with fever. He couldn't stand.
Somebody must have helped him.
The old gentleman. He called a coach, lifted Oliver into it, and took him home.
The man he was accused of robbing took him home.
His name was Mr. Brownlow. And he is the first person in this book who is simply, completely good.
After 11 years. It took 11 years.
And in the next chapter, Oliver finally has a bed, a doctor, and someone who cares. It doesn't last.
Tom, I read the first chapter last night. Oliver was walking to London.
He was 70 miles, with no money and nothing to eat.
How long does that take on foot?
7 days. He slept in fields and under haystacks.
Did nobody help him?
A few people gave him bread and a little cheese. Most looked away.
So what happened on the 7th day?
He reached a small town called Barnet, just outside London, and sat down on a doorstep.
In what condition?
Dirty, barefoot, too tired to walk another step.
And nobody noticed him?
One person did. A boy, standing across the road, watching him carefully.
Who was he?
One of the strangest characters in English literature. Short, dirty, wearing a grown man's coat that reached his heels.
A child dressed as an adult.
And speaking like one. He crossed the road and asked Oliver what the trouble was, in the strangest slang Oliver had ever heard.
What was his name?
Jack Dawkins. But everybody called him the Artful Dodger.
What does that mean exactly?
Artful means clever, but in a dishonest way. A dodger is someone who always escapes. The clever escaper.
A perfect name for a thief.
It is. But Oliver didn't know he was a thief. He only knew the boy bought him a meal.
The first kind person he had ever met.
That's what Oliver believed. Then the Dodger said he knew an old gentleman in London who would give him a place to sleep, for nothing.
For nothing. Nobody gives anything for nothing.
Oliver was 11 and starving. He said yes.
Of course he did. Where did they go?
They waited for night, then walked into London through the dirtiest streets Oliver had ever seen.
Describe them.
Narrow, muddy, full of smoke and terrible smells. Drunk men in the doorways. Children sleeping outside.
And Oliver was thinking he had found a home.
He nearly turned and ran. But he was too tired.
Where did they stop?
In front of an old black house, with broken windows and no light inside.
Who opened the door?
Nobody, at first.
And
Then a voice from the dark asked who was there.
This is like a horror story.
They climbed the stairs and entered a room with a fire and a table.
And the old gentleman?
He was standing by the fire with a toasting fork in his hand, cooking sausages.
That sounds almost friendly.
He smiled at Oliver and welcomed him warmly. His name was Fagin.
Who was he really?
An old criminal who collected homeless children and turned them into pickpockets.
He used children to steal for him.
Exactly. If they were caught, they went to prison. He stayed safe by the fire.
Were there other boys in the room?
4 or 5, smoking long pipes and drinking, like little old men.
Children smoking and drinking.
That detail shocked London in 1838. Dickens wanted people to see what the city was doing to its poor.
What did they give Oliver?
Hot sausages, bread, and a bed made of old sacks on the floor.
And he slept well, I imagine.
Better than he had slept in his whole life.
So where's the trap?
In the morning he woke early, and saw Fagin alone in the room, thinking he was still asleep.
What was he doing?
He had opened a small box and taken out a gold watch. Then another. Then rings, bracelets, jewels.
All stolen.
All stolen. He held each one up to the light and smiled at it.
Did he see Oliver watching?
Yes. And for one moment the friendly old man disappeared completely.
What did he do?
He grabbed a bread knife and asked Oliver what he had seen. His hand was shaking.
A knife. To an 11-year-old boy.
Oliver said he had seen nothing. Fagin laughed, put the knife down, and said it was all a joke.
And Oliver believed him?
He wanted to. Later that morning, Fagin and the boys played a game.
What kind of game?
Fagin walked around the room with a watch in one pocket and a handkerchief in the other, like a rich gentleman.
And the boys?
They had to take everything out of his pockets without him noticing.
They were training him.
And Oliver laughed until he cried. He thought it was the funniest game he had ever seen.
He had no idea what he was learning.
None at all. Fagin told him he was a clever boy, and that soon he would go out with the Dodger and learn properly.
And Oliver was pleased.
He was proud. For the first time in his life, somebody wanted him.
That's the saddest line in the chapter.
And next time, Oliver goes out into the street with them. He still thinks it's a game. Emma, I've just finished the first part of Oliver Twist. Do you know the story?
I know the name, but I've never read it. It's by Charles Dickens, isn't it?
That's right. He wrote it in 1838, and it made the whole of England angry.
Angry? Why? Tell me how it begins.
It begins with a birth. A boy is born in a workhouse, in a small English town.
What exactly was a workhouse?
A place where poor people lived and worked for their food. It was cheaper than helping them properly.
And his parents?
His mother died soon after his birth. Nobody knew who his father was.
So he grew up completely alone.
Completely. Without a family, and without anyone who truly cared for him.
What was life like in that place?
Hard. The children were always cold, always tired, always hungry.
Didn't they feed them?
One small bowl of porridge a day. It was never enough.
That's cruel.
One evening the boys decided that one of them had to ask for more food.
And they chose Oliver.
They chose Oliver. He stood up slowly, walked towards the master, and held out his empty bowl.
What did he say?
Please, sir, I want some more.
6 words. And then?
The master stared at him in disbelief. More? He shouted.
Was it really so terrible to ask?
Everyone in the room was shocked. They called Mr. Bumble immediately.
And who was he?
An important man from the workhouse. He decided that Oliver was a dangerous and ungrateful boy.
Dangerous? He was a hungry child.
That's exactly Dickens's point. They wanted to get rid of him, so they offered money to anyone willing to take him.
Did anyone accept?
Mr. Sowerberry, an undertaker. He prepared funerals and made coffins for the dead.
A child living among coffins.
That's where they made him sleep. In the shop, among the coffins.
Was Sowerberry cruel to him?
Not really. But his wife disliked Oliver immediately, and gave him only scraps of food.
Poor boy. Was there anyone else in the house?
Another boy, Noah Claypole. older, stronger, and he enjoyed insulting Oliver and ordering him around.
And Oliver accepted it.
He could accept many things. But one day Noah began speaking badly about his mother.
Second chapter.
That's exactly how Dickens sold his novels. One chapter at a time.
Tom, I read the first chapter last night. Oliver was walking to London.
He was 70
Chapter.
and next time, Oliver goes out into the street with them. He still thinks it's a game. Emma, I've just finished the first part of Oliver Twist. Do you know the story?
I know the name, but I've never read it. It's by Charles Dickens, isn't it?
That's right. He wrote it in 1838, and it made the whole of England angry.
Angry? Why? Tell me how it begins.
It begins with a birth. A boy is born in a workhouse, in a small English town.
What exactly was a workhouse?
A place where poor people lived and worked for their food. It was cheaper than helping them properly.
And his parents?
His mother died soon after his birth. Nobody knew who his father was.
So he grew up completely alone.
Completely. Without a family, and without anyone who truly cared for him.
What was life like in that place?
Hard. The children were always cold, always tired, always hungry.
Didn't they feed them?
One small bowl of porridge a day. Emma, I've just finished the first part of Oliver Twist. Do you know the story?
I know the name, but I've never read it. It's by Charles Dickens, isn't it?
That's right. He wrote it in 1838, and it made the whole of England angry.
Angry? Why?
Emma, I've just finished the first part of Oliver Twist. Do you know the story?